Yeah, have you seen what people have gone to heaven and said there's actually warehouses in heaven with.
What? Now, ignoring for 1 second that these people think that they've been to heaven, because, no, you ain't. Warehouses there? How incredibly mundane. Why would there be anything in heaven that was even remotely recognizable as such a thing? For starters, isn't heaven full of magic guys, yeah? Surely they don't require any form of storage whatsoever. You want something, you do the old I dream of genie boogie, and poof, there's your PlayStation 5 with a severed head of a scalper on top. No, I'm not bitter, I just want all the fun boxes for free.
Warehouses in heaven with completely healed body parts.
Wait, what? The warehouses are full of severed body parts? Again? What? And that they are completely healed? Wouldn't that be like a person? No, I'm getting bogged down in. Look, just heaven is full of body parts. I mean, I knew God was a bit of a psychopath, but this is just too much even for me. Unless, of course, there's some sort of logical explanation like it's food storage. See, that would make more sense. Nom 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 feet, as they say, whoever they are.
Is that true? Does that exist? And how is that accessed from here? What's the.
Well, I don't know about this person that you're talking to, but I'll give you an educated guess as to whether there are warehouses full of limbs in Sky Deathland. And as a bonus, I'll take it from two perspectives. One, heaven doesn't real, so by extension, nothing said to be there is real either, because that don't make no sense. And two, for argument's sake, we say that Magic Cloud Unlife World does do and exist. Well again, why on earth would they need some sort of amputation storage station? Like, how does one get to heaven? Your body stays here, we know that. So surely you either aren't anything so mundane and frankly rubbish as a humans anymore, 'cause that would be dumb. But then again, we are talking about heaven, so dumb kinda is the name of the game. But then you must get a new body anyway, so why would it need to have the limbs reattached after the fact? Just make them whole when they get there. It's almost like this whole idea is really silly or something.
Because I've heard of it myself, and this is me talking now.
You're talking? And there I thought it was just some off-screen giant anus making those noises, because honestly, it all sounds like a series of farts and pooping effects that kinda sort of vaguely sounds like it might be speech, but it still is very clearly fart sounds. More fool me apparently. All that was coming out of his face. Go figure.
I remember praying to God, like, send the parts in heaven that I need.
Send the parts in heaven that you need. Right, I have 3 ideas why one might need a bunch of used like new body parts from Spaceland. 1, you need them to fix yourself, when really why stop there? I mean, who doesn't need some extra arms and feet on their feet? I'm sure some people would pay for pics of those. And do they have internal organs up there as well as external organs? 'Cause I can imagine how much you could drink with 16 livers. You could drink all the whiskey, but like double. Then of course number 2 would be that you're buying them to start your own organ transplant business, which I mean, good hustle. There are plenty of folks out there who could really use a brain, so you would be filling a rather underserved market. You'll make a killing, you know, without the killing, which is sort of a toss-up between good or bad. Or 3, you are going to be building an army of super soldiers. You get them to send down all the best bits and put them together with crazy glue and boom, instant world domination. One of those, or you're just really, really hungry and have run out of babies. Oh, wait, never mind. You're not an atheist, are you? Forget I said anything.
I can't say that yet that I've seen that happen for me. So this is not my question, but I added that part to it.
I'll be honest, mate. The question is completely absurd enough. I really don't think you should be adding more nonsense to it. Just makes it even worse somehow. Well, hopefully this delightful looking lady will put him in his place for even bringing up such a completely ridiculous, baseless idea, clearly spouted from people who can't tell the difference between some completely bonkers dream they had and a real thing that is real and actually happened. Go ahead, Pinky. Show him who's boss.
I've actually been to the body parts warehouse several times.
What is going on? How? How does anyone believe this shit? I mean, I thought the basic idea of heaven was silly enough already, but this is just completely absurd. Why? Why, pink hair lady? Why have you betrayed me so? I thought we were friends. I should have known better. No one likes me, obviously.
So yes, it really does exist.
But it doesn't though. And you haven't been there. Trust me, mate. Otherwise, I don't know, you might have some way of proving it. That's the thing about things that exist. There's always a way to, show them to people instead of telling fanciful tales about nonsense. You won't have to do that. You just show them your, in this case, big rooms full of choputated body parts.
And they have every kind of body part that God has ever made.
Every single one, eh? Does it have the whiskey gland? The part of the humans that creates whiskey without the need to do all that annoying and, more importantly, slow-ass process that is currently needed to make a half-decent barrel. Because if that's the case, I'll take 12. Then all I need is some disciples to follow me round and occasionally, drip into my mouth, and I'll be golden.
And they're alive. I'm going to
Wow.
take your mind and just do something to your mind right now. So I tell people, take your natural mind and set it on a shelf.
Alive, eh? How in the name of Christy McCakington does that shit actually work? And by take your natural mind and sit it on a shelf, do you actually mean take your mind, your thinky box of tricks, and chuck it out the nearest window? Because we are going on a ride into good old cloud cuckoo land. Because I have a funny feeling that is exactly where we are headed. Even beyond this remarkable, high-grade, pure Colombian nonsense.
And just hear with your spirit. I'm talking about heaven. I'm talking about where all creation took place.
Did it? I thought all the creation happened here. Or was it created in heaven and then moved across into reality, possibly through a series of tubes, as all advanced transport systems do the working of? You would have thought it might have been mentioned that, or if all creation is in heaven, then we are already in heaven, so why bother doing shit? Although, of course, we know that can't be right. Otherwise, there would be significantly less humans and more whiskey. Clearly, we were created in hell.
And the one who made everything is there.
Gasp! You mean John Delancey's there? You know, he played himself on TV, but under the pseudonym of Q. Perfect role, because all he did was turn up on set. And they just filmed him using his superpowers to f*** with Patrick Stewart, who was, of course, also just doing his day job.
I can even take a moment to explain this.
I mean, I appreciate that. But I seriously doubt that you could explain anything in any way that's going to do that thing that I like so much. You know, making any goddamn sense whatsoever. But apparently that's just too much to ask from anyone. All you f***ers are just making all the nonsenses up in this bitch. It's infuriating, to be honest.
The Father, how this creation thing happened was the Father and the Word worked together.
Okay, that's a bit different. This must be one of them offshoots or different interpretations. Or maybe it's just shit this lady made up. It's so hard to tell because they are all the same, really. You know, bollocks. So the Father, aka God-man, and the literal Word work together. Well, something not all powerful then. Not if he needs help from fucking letters to get anything done. Pathetic.
That's why it's a 3-in-1. They have the ability to go inside of each other, go places and do things. This is what they did before the earth was even made.
Mate, the Father and the Word, that's not 3, that's 2. Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's not exactly filling me with confidence when you can't even number the difference between 2 consecutive numbers. And not even big ones, but the literal second and third. That or you just cannot count. Either way, can't say I'm particularly impressed. I can count all the way up to 5.
And so the Father would go somewhere where there was nothing.
Oh, I get it. He would go to Peterborough. Well, it's as good as there being nothing, because, well, you don't get voted the worst town in England repeatedly for nothing, or for something. No offence to anyone from Peterborough, it's just, I mean, you're from there, you know. It's the worst. A local guide says, if booking a weekend getaway in Peterborough, it is customary if a stranger holds eye contact with you for more than 3 seconds to shout, "What?" and become extremely aggressive. Sounds absolutely delightful.
He would speak what he wanted.
We all know what I would speak for. A bucket of Ferrero Rocher. Those things are friggin' lush. What, you expected me to say whiskey? Why would I do that? I already got the Who Man followers with the gland. And there's other things I like. Who says I can't like other things? I mean, as long as it's bad for me, I'll consume almost anything.
And the Word, which is Christ, the Word would step out and he would make whatever it was God wanted.
Wait, the Word is now Christ? Struth, the lore of this storybook is just so damn confusing. It's got more twists than M. Night Shyamalan's Pet Pig's Penis. And is twice as pretentious as that one film where he literally cast himself as self-insert Messiah. And yet, that's still a better story than the Bible. And that's saying something.
Now, the Word says when God made it, he looked at it and considered it. If he liked it, it remained.
We really have gotten way off track, haven't we? Whatever happened to the heavenly warehouses full of arms, legs, probably torsos, definitely eyeballs, singular fingers and toes, and even just like the tips of those, and, well, a whole gigantic heap of disembodied cocks, and probably even more foreskins. Although, depending on who you ask, he doesn't really like them. Or maybe he likes them a lot and wants them all to himself in his warehouse. It's all coming together, just like the pile of living cocks.
If he didn't like what he had said he wanted, then it disappears. So you have to understand it was a process.
Like that whole thing. You can see him making the argument, well, you only exist because God liked the Unibobs he did the making of. But, well, the universe exists because it exists. You can apply whatever other bullshit you want to that. Doesn't make it true. The existence of the universe is no more proof for God than the existence of whiskey is for Dionysus. I mean, he does exist. We play cards every Saturday, but that doesn't mean anything. Just saying.
So they made everything together. It wasn't just one doing it, but that's why it says there was nothing that was not made that wasn't made by the Word.
So if there was nothing that was made that wasn't made by the Word, then that means that the Word made, like, crap and piss and horrible insects that like to do messed up things to your internals and all manner of diseases. Man, you know what? This Word fella, I'm starting to think that he might be a bit of a dick. I mean, I might be evil, but at least when I destroy all humans, I'm going to do it all at once. That guy's just cruel.
Because he was with God. God spoke the word that he wanted, what he wanted, and the Word, that's why it was his name, stepped out and made it.
Right, dude, you're just repeating yourself, and I have this sinking feeling that you aren't even going to go back to the interesting bit about the stores of Choppy Boys. And that does seem to be a common thread with you guys, instead of answering what you were asked. Talking about the thing people want to know, you just rattle off the same old rote shit that is all that you actually know. I mean, you would think if you had seen those things, you could describe them, you would want to talk about them non-stop. I know I would. It's literally one of the most amazing things that one would ever see. But instead, you choose to say the same old shit that the people you are talking to have heard before and already believe is, well, I want to say true, but it's more than that. They believe it's not completely stupid, which takes some real believing, doesn't it?
And then, of course, later the Word came and died, a member of the Trinity. And then after that, he was known as Yeshua.
No, Yeshua. Wait, no, she's saying Yeshua or Jeshua or basically other names for Jeebus. And talking of names, it's always fun to bring up the fact that Bible God has a name, being Yahweh, to so many Crimsbians who have no idea that, and that he's a Mesopotamian war god. The idea that he's the one true and only God isn't even true in the history of Christy Boys. But for some reason, true believers never seem to know that. Almost like if they did, they might start to think that their bullshit is, well, bullshit.
Our Savior, our Lord, our King, Jesus Christ. And that's another question I'll answer for free. People say, what does Jesus want to be called?
You'll answer that, will you? You'll speak for Jesus, yeah? You know, I'll be honest, that sounds just a tad, tiny weeny bit, incredibly egotistical. Oh, yeah, I know the guy who runs the universe and everything. Yeah, we're just besties and he tells me all his secrets. He told me that his favourite nickname is Jibus and that his favourite colour is luminous pink. His favorite brand of condoms. Ribbed Titans, by the way. He's a big boy. And he cares about the ladies having a good time. He's a god for all mankind. And womankind.
Any of those as long as you call him.
Oh, and that's it. Yeah, never went back to that. Never answered his question about if, like, he could have some hands back on Earth for science. Wink. How incredibly disappointing. No, wait, the other one. Completely tiresomely inevitable. I would say never change Crimsby Bobs, but what would be the point of that? We already know you never will.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the